Well, here we go then. I'm back again for the final recon of this round of the WTRL Zwift Racing League. This is the Syco-list. Let's get on with it. So it's the final round of this series of the WTRL Zwift Racing League. And we're heading back to Watopia, this time for a points race. The course itself is the Jarvis Seaside Sprint, and I'm going to have to break it down a little bit because A&B Riders are doing 3 laps and C&D Riders are doing 2 laps. So then A&B Riders are going to be riding 3 laps of this course. That's a total of 40.3 kilometres in length and 320 metres of elevation. So then for those C&D riders out there, you're going to be riding 2 laps of this circuit, which is going to make it 27.8 kilometres in length and 226 metres of elevation. So then power-ups. I'm going to give them as they're listed on the WTRL website at the time of recording this video, but they might not be the same on the day. So I'm going to give you them as they're listed, and if they're wrong out on the road or there's any issues, then obviously check my race video, my live stream, and you'll see what's happened. But they should be Aero Boost, Draft Boost, Featherweight, Burrito, Aero Boost, Ghost. 6 in total, and I can't work it out because there's going to be at least 10 arches to get power-ups, but they're only listing 6 at the moment. So we'll wait and see on that one. So then, being a points race, my favourite topic of all, FTS and FAL points. They're going to be available on every lap in your race, so that's 3 laps for A and B and 2 laps for the C&D riders. They're going to be available on the bridge sprint at the start of every lap. They're going to be available on the Jarvis reverse sprint and the Jarvis reverse climb on every lap. So make sure you get all of them. Points are going to be issued to every rider across the line, depending on your position. To get over the line as quickly as possible, grab those extra few points for your team and take them to the finish line for your finishing points also. The bike choice for this one, again, I've done a bit of digging. Upgrades are in place, so if you have upgrades, that's to your advantage. But I think over the course of this series, we've seen that the Pinarello Dogma F, the S-Works Tarmac SL8 and the Canyon Aero, all those 3 frames have been pretty much matched. The choices really are the DT Swiss Disc Wheelset or the MV 8.9 wheelset. For me, I rode the Pinarello Dogma F in the last race and I had the MV wheelset. I probably should have done the DT Swiss Disc Wheelset. I think they're an overall great wheel for any race. So this week I'll be riding the Pinarello Dogma F and the DT Swiss Disc Wheelset. Have a look for yourself and see what you think. Like with all my videos, the Recon Notes will be down in the description below, so please use them wisely whilst you're out on the course. And obviously the Recon that's about to follow on shortly from this is actually 1 lap of the circuit. Obviously if you're riding it for A and B, it's 3 laps, and for the C&D riders 2 laps. But the Recon Notes will give you all the distances you need. If you are liking the content as well, then please do like and subscribe to this channel. I bring these Recon videos to you in my own time, and I'm not getting funded to do so. But if you do like the content, then please do like and subscribe to the channel. It does support me. Enough of me gibbering on. Let's dive into the recon. So here we go then, like with any good race, it starts here in downtown Watopia. For us, we're going to lead ourselves out of downtown Watopia, taking this small little rise up towards the S's. Obviously A and B riders are going to do 3 laps of Jarvis Seaside Sprint, and C&D riders are going to do 2 laps of the Jarvis Seaside Sprint. Just to give you the heads up, it's a 2.8 kilometre lead in, which is taking in the S's here to lead us into that first sprint segment at around about 2.8 kilometres. That first sprint segment will be done 4 times for A and B riders and 3 times for C&D riders. It will be at the start of this lap and the end of every other lap, and will be your finish banner for the finals time of this race. So get over these S's, push on those rises, take a bit of relax on the down, and get ready as we head down here into the first sprint segment for FTS and FAL points. Cross the bridge here, which will give us that first banner, your first power up, and your first lot of points, FTS and FAL. This will lead us then through into the Roman villas, where at the waterfall we are going to take the right hand turn and lead ourselves out towards the volcano. As you can see, this is an event only route, and I've tried to navigate it myself. Some of the kilometers at the top of the screen are only fractionally out, so hopefully on the day your Recon notes that are down in the description below will be on point for you. Like I said, it's a 2.8 kilometer lead in and then each lap from there. So we are now on the first lap. As you head out towards the volcano here, this is nice and flat lead in, and as we get to the next junction we're going to stay straight on towards Jarvis Island. Shortly we're going to take that left hand turn, and this is where you need to start to prepare yourself for the next sprint segment for FTS and FAL points. It's going to be the Jarvis reverse sprint, and it's going to happen just around this left hand bend by the bear. As you can see, we come around the corner here and the blue dashes are on the road and the sprint is upon us. Through this sprint segment, another banner will give you another power up. So that's 2 sprint segments already done. And as you've come through that one, there's no time to relax because we're straight into the Jarvis Com reverse, which again is FTS and FAL points. Heads up display give you an idea of the areas where it gets steeper. The yellow sections are draftable, so bear that in mind. You're going to need to push a little bit on these amber and dark orange sections. Bit of time to relax on the blue sections, try and get a breath in before it kicks on again. Back into a yellow section and getting towards that final kick of the Jarvis Com reverse. Obviously you'll do this on every lap, and it will be available for FTS and FAL points on every single lap as well. So make the final push here, get yourself over the top. You can see the Com Arch banner there, and as you go through that you should pick up another power up. Obviously I don't want to say too much about power ups because I don't know what order you'll get them or if they'll be random like in other races, but as per their page it is set out 6 power ups throughout. So make the most of this downhill section now as we lead ourselves clockwise around the Jarvis Island, and then when we get back towards the bear we will turn left, head through the volcano, head back towards downtown Watopia, and then come back over the S's to finish lap 1. Like I said, for A&B Riders you are doing 3 laps, and C&D Riders you are doing 2 laps. The start and finish of each lap is the bridge sprint, and that will be your finish banner at the end of this race. So here we are, just coming through the last bit of Jarvis Island before we take the left hand turn. We'll head here towards the volcano, and then we'll take a right hand turn again, leading us fairly flat along through here, so you should be able to sit within the pack and prepare yourself for anything that's going to happen. I've got a funny feeling this race will be quite settled. I think the sprints people will attack them and then the pace will settle. So you just need to have your sprinting legs on for this one. All FTS and FAL points is available to everyone that's racing, so just bear in mind your position when you get through there. Obviously coming through the volcano now, weave our way through here, and then we'll head out to the glass road that will lead us back towards downtown Watopia and the start of the S's again. Obviously we'll go over the S's and then roll into the start of lap 2. I've only actually ridden 1 lap view on this because it seemed daft to re-ride 2 or 3 laps as per, but obviously the distances and that will be in the Recon notes in the description for you below. Through the glass tunnel now. After this we'll be staying right, making the short climb up
and going through the S's to lead us back to finish lap 1. As you can see, that sprint section for the bridge will come again at the end of this lap. So at the end of lap 1 you would have done 4 segments. You would have done the bridge twice and the Jarvis reverse sprint and the Jarvis reverse com at the end of the lap 1. Again, stick in the wheels here, make the most of these rollers and get yourself completed through lap 1 and get prepared for another sprint, which is going to come just as we descend down this hill here. As you can see, lap 1 is going to be just over 15 kilometers in length, and each lap after that will be about 12 kilometers.
Well, there you go then. That's the recon of race 4, the points race on Jarvis Seaside Sprint for the WTRL Zwift Racing League. Recon notes are down in that description below, so do have a look at them before or during the race. They might come in useful somewhere. Don't forget FTS, FAL points are up for grabs on every lap as well on those segments as I've mentioned. To make sure you bag your team as many points as possible, and don't forget your finishing points as well. If you are liking the content, then please do like and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.